Hi everybody, Echo here. Welcome to another video. Today I thought it would be kind of fun to take you guys along on a build tutorial. So this is going to be my first one, so I'll do my best to do it right. But anyway, today we are going to be building one of my favorite builds, which is a windmill. Because, I mean, who doesn't want a windmill that just looks over their crops or something? So back here I have 3 designs that I have done in the past, and I'll give you a quick look at all 3 of them, and then I will show you which one we'll be building today. Alright, so first we have this one right here. It's kind of like a nice medieval type one. Goes well with most bases, most crop builds, all nice and put together. A really tiny interior, but the interior can be whatever you want it to be. Right here we have this fantasy type one. It's themed around mushrooms. So it has some little mushrooms sprouted on the sides and a little mushroom roof and a little bit of a more broken windmill to kind of match all that fantasy overgrown kind of vibe. It's kind of empty on the interior, but still cute. Matches really well into whatever builds you want to put in. And right here is the third one, and the one we'll be making today. This is the broken windmill. It has a little bit more overgrown stuff and looks like it's just a little bit older, like it's been in the world for a long time, kind of abandoned. Also gives you kind of rustic, medieval type vibe. And personally, it's my favorite out of the 3 of them. And so this is the one we'll be building today, and I will take you step by step, and let's get this thing built. So starting right here, we have how long, tall, and wide it is. So it would be in an area that's about 20 blocks tall. So make sure to have that space for it. It's not too detailed on the roof, and so the tallest part is just this windmill blade. It's also about 14 long and 19 wide, so it's like 19 wide counting the windmill blade with like an extra block, so that way you can make sure it definitely fits, ignore the vines. And then 14 long is just kind of how wide it is, because there's not really much happening on the back, so it doesn't really take up too much space, but it's just a kind of cute little build that fits anywhere you want to put it. And then even up here, you can just put whatever you want in here. Just make a little home. Really cute and cozy. And so without any further ado, let's get started. So the block palette I used on this one was more of like deep slate and stuff, but you can use whatever block, any wood, whatever you want to do, just make it your own design. So I think for me, we will be doing some stuff like oak probably, and maybe a little bit of spruce. Spruce can always give it like some nice vibes. And I think for the main base design on this one, I kind of want to mess around with some of these bricks, because I mean they look really good right next to each other, and I think it would be a really cute design. So let's get started. We did it about 4 blocks away and 5 on that side, so let's make sure we get these directly lined up. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there, I believe. Yep. So it's pretty easy design to follow if you can look on the inside. It's more just the lots and everything. So we're gonna start by placing these corner lots. So you just want to do like 2 corner lots and then like a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then another one. And then on that corner, 1, 2, 3, and then another one. 1, 2, 3, and then the final one. So we're gonna have a little bit of something like this to start with. And then for the corners, you're just gonna take them up. I believe it's by 5, so let's do 5 for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so let's see, is it 5? Yeah, and then you're just gonna want to cross beam the top of all of these, like so. And it's gonna sort of give you like that. And then this is where you can like do the door frame. So we're just gonna start by doing it in like the solid brick color. that. And we can do this all the way around if we don't place the bricks wrong. And voila, you'll have a little bit of something that looks like this. And so once you get this, you can just take your brick stair, and we're just going to place one right there to make a little bit of a doorway, because if you see over here, then it's just like a door. You can use whatever color door you want, but I think I want to try some of this pale oak. It was recently added to the game, and I think it's pretty cute. Definitely kind of goes well with the bricks. And then we can just take some spruce trim, so just stairs, slabs, etc. So we can start by adding a little bit of trim on the bottom, just to get this like bottom bit a little more textured, or I guess built up. You can also use whatever kind of fence post or any design that you want to do with this. So I think we're gonna stick with the dark oak today. So you just go ahead and put 2 on each one of these stair posts, like so. Going all the way around. And it'll look a little bit something like this. Hang on. And once you have that, you can go ahead and put some upside down stairs on top. You can do whatever kind of stairs you want or anything. And it will give it something like that. And then you can also do a stair in the middle with just slabs in between them all, going all the way around. And then one slab right here, just so it's like a little bit lower than the stairs, so that you can hang like a lantern or honestly whatever you want to hang off of it. But for this build, we're gonna be using a lantern. So you can just go ahead and hang a lantern off of each of them. Just gives it a little more light and keeps mobs out of your crop farms and windmills and stuff. And then the same, it's a little bit kind of the same up here as it was down there. You're just going to do it on like the corner bits. So we're going to do that real quick. You just put a log there and there, going all the way around like so. And then you can use whatever you want, like you can use fences or even fence gates or even a mix of the two. But for me, I personally think that a lectern looks really good, because like it has bookshelves on this side, but if you look on the other side, it kind of just looks like railing, and I think that gives it a really cute feel. You can also do whatever you want here. I personally love doing spruce trap doors over the top of them. It just kind of makes it look a lot cooler and makes it so you actually have to jump, and less like this where you can actually walk into it. So we're just gonna quickly get trap doors all the way around. You can use whatever blocks, like temporary blocks or anything you need to for right here. But for me, I just have a block in my hands, so then you can go ahead and remove all these extra bits, and you'll just have something like this. And then to not use too much spruce in this build, I used the dark oak for this part. So you can just do whatever you want and just like put little slabs around, so that way it's a little bit higher than the trapdoor, but still gives it a really cute vibe. And so this is what we're looking at so far. It also kind of looks like a little tower, which I think is adorable. Look at it. But you can also add like some little flower boxes or sweet berry bushes, or just whatever you want to put out here. Oh, we forgot the window. So then you can also just add like a little window in here. Those also look really cute. So we'll just break out a little window. And we should probably add this first trim, so then that, just so that way you don't have a lot of brick. It kind of contrasts the bricks a little bit better. Did I do it on the back over there? Yeah, I did. Okay. Because otherwise it just looks kind of weird. And there you go. You have a little tower And so then we can move on to the next part of the windmill. So for this part, it's pretty simple. You're just gonna take it up by, I think it's 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4. Hang on, I'm getting stuck in my own windmill. Okay, so you're gonna start by taking these pillars up by another 4. And then you can just cross beam the top of them. So when you're done, you're gonna want to have like a gap of 3 in between the two, like that. And then this one also goes up, I believe, by another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're gonna cross the top of it. Until you have something like this. And I know it doesn't look too good at the moment, so but we're gonna make it look a whole lot better. So then, depending on what colors you decided to use or what you decide to do, as you can tell, I did oak for that one, but you might want to try a different wood for this one. So let's see, maybe the mangrove might look good, or the cherry. You can try a little bit of mangrove. It might not look the greatest, but that's why we're trying it. Like, we can always change it in a minute, but it might contrast the bricks a lot better. I am using shaders, so it might look good in shaders, might not look good in vanilla, so keep that in mind. It honestly doesn't look too horrible. It'd probably go better with a darker block though, so we might just keep it with the oak today. And we'll have to try that design, another time. But it's always fun to just mix and match stuff. So you just gotta put like some oak stairs upside down just on each of those corners, facing inwards, so that way it kind of gives like a little archway. And so then, as you can tell, it's looking a little bit better. You have like the little archway. And then on this side, we are just gonna do 2 high windows. So we're gonna do it like that, and we're gonna do it on only 3 sides because the 4th side is gonna be something else. So you're just gonna do it on the 2 sides in the back, like so. And so then you're gonna have a little bit of something like that. We can leave that part open for now. We put away our spruce trap doors. I use spruce trap doors because I think they kind of look like shutters, which is like really cute. But you can use whatever you want. And so you can also use either fences or glass for the windows. Let's see, glass panes. There we go. So like it looks good with either. Maybe not oak though. Maybe some spruce. Oh yeah, the spruce look kind of good for like windows, or you can do glass for windows. It honestly doesn't matter. We might try some fences for these windows. Just make it look a little older. You can also throw some fences down there. And we're about halfway done with this build. So this is what we have so far. Next we can move on to either the roof or the blade. I'm thinking we might try to go with the blade just to get that out of the way. It's going to be a little bit more challenging per se. So you're going to want to start by, let's go back over here. So you're going to start by taking this center block up by 2, and then the rest can all go all the way up. And then depending on if you want to put anything inside it, you could do a little design like this. I believe it was like this. No, it's like this. Hang on. There you go. So then you can just get inside it, but if you put it like that, then you can still access it like that. So then you're going to want to take this blade, this little centerpiece out by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, by at least 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can do some little trap doors on here to make it look like it's being supported to the wall better if you don't fall. And then once you get that in, you're gonna take some stripped oak wood. You can do stripped oak log or whatever you want to do, but I personally think the stripped oak wood gives it the best kind of feel. So you're gonna want to find the center of the log. So, or I guess it's like, did I make it too long? I think I made it too long. Okay. So you're gonna want to find this block right here, and then we can start the main support frame at the base. So it's gonna go up by 2 on that one, and then just kind of like that similar pattern going all the way around, just in a different. So it's gonna go up and then turn and then like this one, but this one is gonna go downwards, and then this one goes this way, and then this one will go upwards. Kind of like that. So then you're gonna have something that looks a little bit like that. This is how the support is. You can use fences or whatever you want on this. I used oak trap doors because I thought that looked really cool. You can do it kind of like this, so it's all broken in bits, or you can do it like this, so it's all pieced together. So that way it looks really cool and not as old or run down, but it's completely up to you. We're gonna probably try to do that design. So we're gonna need something like oak leaves. You can use whatever kind of leaves you want or whatever you want, but I just went with oak leaves. So we're gonna take it step by step with the blade, starting with this one. So for this one, it's gonna go, hang on. You know what, we're just gonna put the blade completely together and fix it afterwards. So how did I do the blade over here? I haven't made this design in a while, so. Okay, pretty simple. So you should have, I believe, something that looks a little bit like that for the finished blade product. Is that correct? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's right. I think it goes up one more on that one. Yeah, so you're going to have something that looks a little bit like that, and then you can just continue this pattern going all the way around. Doing this one can be a little bit tricky. I believe it does something like that. Apologies, 1 second. We will make this blade work. That's the kind of the tricky part. The windmill blade can honestly be one of the hardest parts of doing this build. It's just trying to get the blade itself right. Okay, that's right. So it's okay if you mess up the blade a lot when you're first trying it. It is not an easy build to do. And I'm still somehow managing to mess it up. Okay. Then it's gonna go one more over on this side. Okay. Once you get into like the rhythm of doing the blade, then it gets pretty quick and you can get a lot quicker at doing it. But until you get that rhythm, it's kind of like fairly slow. And then it should turn into something like that. Is that correct? Almost. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's just that blade gets done. Okay, so yeah, that's 2 to 3 4 blades done. This one Kind of like the same as the top. Goes down and down. Here with that, and then it goes, keeps going down. So you have the two outward bits, and then that. Until you should end up with something like that. And then this one is going to be kind of the same. So you're going to go over 2, then down 1. All those get done. And I think I messed up that blade, so 1 second, we'll leave nature. Oh, never mind. We're just doing it 1 block short. There we go. And you should end up with something looking like this for the finished project, I think. Maybe like that. Okay, and so you should end up with the finished product like this. Let's double check. Almost. It's 3 wide on those, so still close. So you can just go ahead and add a quick trapdoor to these bits. Just these 3 right there, and voila, you have a finished windmill blade. So something else I like to do is I will put a button right there with a lantern. And so then, seeing as we are going to be doing this design, we can go ahead and quickly grab all of the bits that we need for it, which are just some leaves, some vines, and some low lichen. So they're gonna start on this blade, so you're gonna do the lichen there with some vines and the lichen right there, and then a vine here with the lichen and vines. And you can honestly just do however you want, like whatever pattern you want. So you can go there and there, maybe skip a block like right there. And then you can also make it rustic and broken however you want. So like you can break that part and do like a leaf there. Maybe break it down there. We can just do this up there and there and break that. Maybe a leaf there. And there. And there. Right there. And voila, you also have it looking kind of broken. You can also make it more put together if you want, like add a little sleeves, just so that way it's not hanging as much. And then you just have a little bit of something like that. Quite cute. Then once you get this done, you can also go around to the back and kind of add like your own little bits of leaves. But first you gotta do the roof. I almost forgot the roof. You don't want to forget a roof, because otherwise you'll get poured on when it rains. But for the roof, it's pretty simple. You're gonna want to take your pillars up by 1 more block, and then starting with the top block, you're gonna do stairs all the way across. So stair, 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 stair. And then leave 1 overhanging, kind of like so. Then you're going to want to do some upside down stairs. And then just slabs all the way up. Pretty simple design. All the way to the top. And then you can do whatever kind if you want. Like you can fill it all in with dark oak. But for me, I like to do a little bit of a gradient. Well, I guess not a gradient, just I give it more color. So I do a trim of dark oak and then like a different wood or a block to fill it in. And then coming down below, you can just do some dark oak slabs going all the way down to give it a little more detail. Like so. And then you can put whatever you want in here. I'm thinking for this one, honeycomb might look good. So you just fill it in. Oh yeah, it does look kind of good. Just make it look all cute. And then once you have that, that should be your roof complete. You can also add stuff like blueberries and hanging roots, even pale moss now. You can also add some of that just to make it cute. So we can do like some of this and then we're doing some moss and let's grab some blueberries. And the other thing you can do with blueberries is if you actually take a pair of shears, then you can strip them so that way they won't keep painting down. So that way you can keep them at a certain length. Pretty cool. And then you can add some like ivy with the leaves if you wanted to. Just kind of scraping them around. Going all the way down. Just something really pretty. But it's completely up to you. Just gives it a little more green. You can also take it all the way down if you wanted to. But that's kind of hard to do, so we're not going to worry about that right now. And by the end, you should have something that looks like this. Just this cute little windmill that you can either live in or do whatever you want. Oh, we totally forgot a floor. Silly me. We can't forget floors. Okay, we can just do a spruce floor in here. Then you want to leave one block open if you want to like get to the top. Another thing you can do is I like to do a little bit of this design. And then I can just hang a lantern up there and it still looks really pretty. I'll actually show you guys how to do a little quick interior. Just something really adorable that I like to do. You can start by choosing any floor you want. I might go with the granite floor and maybe some polished granite. So we can do like kind of like that pattern because that's kind of what it turned into. And it should be able to fit like the basic stuff, so like a bed, and I can show you how to make a cute little kitchen. I like to do my kitchens using barrels because they make really good fridges and just cupboards. So if you wanted a fridge, you could do a little something like that, but I think this is a little too small for a fridge, so you can do that. Maybe throw in a crafting table with a furnace and maybe like even a cauldron. I also like to sometimes do a tripwire hook because it makes it kind of look like a little sink, so then you can have a little something like that. And of course everybody needs a cake. And then we can't forget the bed, so you do like a bed there and maybe a chest and a ladder to get to the second floor. Theoretically, this should also work if you want to do like an enchanting setup. You just do the bookshelves like around there and then the enchanting table right here and stuff. So it could also work for that, but completely up to you. You can also take some like carpet. I like the pale moss carpet a lot. It also kind of goes up the wall. And a painting. Nothing too big, just something cute like that. And you could also probably fit a little shelf right above the bed to either store more storage in or maybe like a flower pot. So you could just do like a little something like that. And if you wanted to, you could put even more up here and do like an anvil or a stone cutter. Whatever you want to put in your house. Completely up to you. And see, as we just started our painting, we could probably fit a tiny one like right there. Or even... Nope, didn't mean to do that. Okay, like... Hang on, that one, that was a cute one. And then you got a little something like this. And voila, this is how you decorate a tiny house. And you could even make it easier to find stuff by putting item frames on the barrel or maybe adding a clock. Clocks might also be kind of cool. So you can do like a clock and do like item frames to put like bread or seeds or carrots or something. And then you can still look out and just a cute little base. And then we can tear our inventory. And voila, here is your finished windmill. Perfect little starter home. Doesn't use a lot of materials. But anyway, this is going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy this tutorial, make sure to hit that like button and comment below. If you would like to see either of those mushrooms, either of those windmills, or in the future, if you'd like to see any more build tutorials, let me know. I have quite a few builds I can show you. And until next time, goodbye.